service of CNC Worldwide.
The Daily is a service of CNC and Jib Jab Greetings. I'm Bud Lowell. Your full AccuWeather forecast is always on top of your CNC local page. A report from the Center for Governmental Research in Rochester calls the University of Rochester a vital cornerstone in our region's economic health. The report also shows that the U of R, besides being the region's largest employer, is now the largest single academic institution in New York State. University of Rochester President Joel Seligman said in a recent address that the impact goes far beyond the more than 20,000 people directly employed by the U of R and its medical center.
Specifically summing up selected economic contributions of the university, including both of those of direct employment and what is called spillover, or local and traded sector employment, CGR estimated that our university currently is responsible for a total of 47,000 jobs, approximately 9% of total employment in the Rochester metropolitan statistical area, $716 million in purchased goods and services, $2.4 billion in wages, and $143 million in sales, personal income, and local property taxes.
The Center for Governmental Research says the University of Rochester is now New York's seventh largest employer overall and the largest single institution of higher education and academic medical center in the state. Xerox has asked the town of Webster to cut its tax assessments by nearly 75%, a request town supervisor Ron Nesbitt says would shift more tax burden onto Webster homeowners and business owners. Xerox employs 6,300 people in the Rochester area, many of them at its facilities in Webster. They include a toner plant, one of the company's major research labs, and the new call center. Those facilities are currently assessed at $80.8 million. Nesbitt says the company wants the assessment dropped to just $22 million. And Nesbitt says this is coming after Xerox already got an economic development grant from the state and a County of Monroe Industrial Development Authority tax abatement deal for its new call center in Webster. As they try to wrap up this year's session of the New York State Legislature, the three men in the room have announced an agreement that will keep a tax exemption in place for small-scale breweries. Governor Andrew Cuomo, Senate Majority Leader Dean Skelos, and Assembly Speaker Sheldon Silver say the agreement will strengthen and help grow New York State's craft beer industry. It's intended to support New York's craft breweries and wineries, increase demand for locally grown farm products, and expand industry-related economic development and tourism. The legislation maintains a tax benefit for small breweries that produce beer in New York. It exempts breweries that produce small batches only from paying the annual State Liquor Authority fee, and it creates a farm brewery license that will allow craft brewers to expand their operations through opening restaurants or selling new products, much as wineries have been doing for years. Also in Albany, the Office of the New York State Comptroller says state agencies were late more than 80% of the time last year in approving contracts with nonprofit agencies that provide services on their behalf. The state relies heavily on not-for-profit agencies to provide billions of dollars worth of social services on the state's behalf. The state is obligated by law to pay those agencies on time. But Comptroller Thomas DiNapoli says they consistently missed the mark last year. DiNapoli says the interest payments state agencies have to make when they pay late cost taxpayers an extra $200,000 that didn't need to be spent. A Rochester 911 dispatcher has been placed on paid administrative leave and is facing a charge of computer trespassing. The city's Office of Public Integrity says 37-year-old Matthew Gizzi allegedly used the 911 computer system to gain information for personal use. Computer trespassing is a felony, and Gizzi faces arraignment in city court June 19th. In the meantime, an internal investigation is underway. Arundecoit police say a pedestrian was killed at East Ridge Road and Seneca Avenue Thursday while trying to cross the street. The man's name hasn't yet been released. Police say he was in his 50s. He was crossing Ridge Road when a car heading north on Seneca Avenue turned onto the ridge and struck him. Witnesses told police the man appeared to have fallen and was trying to get up when he was hit and pinned under the car. He was pronounced dead at the scene, and that investigation also continues. And at Arcadia High School in Greece Friday night, there will be a candlelight vigil in memory of Joshua Opladen, a member of the senior class who died earlier this week. Students, friends, and alums are invited to the Arcadia football field from 8:30 to 10 to remember and to support the Obladen family and friends. Please bring a candle to light. On this page, you can find links to these and other stories. At the bottom, links that you can use to post us your own news updates, sports, and salutes. They're in that gray bar on the bottom. Next news as it happens, updates when necessary. I'm Bud Lowell, CNC News.